more people can say more things to more people than ever in history, and that is still growing enormously.
The contemporary internet and the tools that make it up give us an immense opportunity to reorganize almost any aspect of our own lives.
So if you can create an encyclopedia with 1 million people who've never met, but the quality is just as good as Britannica, what else could you create?
There is this possibility of using these tools to do massive things, which is completely unexplored at the moment.
And we can work together in ways that ask a deeper question about the role of government.
There's a whole new model that's emerging where we become part of the government.
I think we've got the technology that any vote that's in Parliament could be offered to the entire country.
This is a very profound change. I'm not talking about people lobbying outside parties influencing government. I'm talking about unbundling and reconstituting what is a government.
A revolution doesn't happen when society adopts new tools. It happens when society adopts new behaviors. These tools have lowered the cost of doing things to the point where our desire to engage with one another is enough to get things now to happen at a very large social scale rather than just a sort of smaller family and friend scale.
My name is Eric. I'm 19 and I've never been overseas, and I'm going to be staying with couch surfers. Every face I see is completely alien to me, and I'm not really used to that.
This urge that we have to socialise, to connect, to be recognised, to have social status, that plays out in these technologies a lot more easily than it could in the world of broadcast media or newspapers or mass communication in the 20th century sense of the term.
Public services are going to need to change the way in which they see people. They're going to need to find ways of tapping into people's own resources. They're going to need to find ways of connecting people to support one another in the way that sites like NetMums do.
It's a message board, basically. It can be a very lonely journey, parenting. It is all about loss of the community, I think, really. So to try and get that community spirit that would have been there so many years ago, we have to find some other way of doing it, and Mumsnet is probably the best way of doing that, I think.
Mumsnet builds on what mums have always done in playgrounds, in parks, in groups, but just takes that to a whole different